I came across a newspaper column today, and yes, I still occasionally look at a newspaper. I know that they're considered somewhat relics of the past, but I get one delivered here at the office and appreciate the fact that the people in the local paper actually keep me on the list. And I do read the thing, especially the op ed pages. And there's a column today. This is a statewide syndicated column by a writer named Chuck Malloy. Chuck Malloy has been chronicling things in Idaho for decades now. And he's writing about our lieutenant governor, Janice McGeachin, and said she could win a primary and become our next governor come 2022. Now, these are questions she's not really taking at the moment. A couple of months back, she was on my program, and I brought it up before we went on air, and she said, I'm not, that's not my subject today. So, but I'm going to be one of those people out there that says, I think she is thinking about it. That is, I think she's thinking about it. She's not confirmed it. I'll put it that way. Malloy is an interesting character. I think he's a liberal. A couple of years ago, he wrote a column, and I sent him a note commenting on it. It wasn't even harsh, and it wasn't even critical. I sent him a note, and he wrote me back in a rather harsh note and said, a harsh response, and said, well, I get paid to give opinions, and that's my opinion. And I wrote him back and said, yeah, I'm not criticizing your opinion. I'm just commenting on what you said. And with that, I got another rather harsh note back from him. So I guess he doesn't like conservatives even getting in touch with him. And that's okay, because he's in a dying medium. I'm in the sound medium, which continues to just go on and find new ways to propagate through Spotify and through YouTube and through spoken word media is going to be around a very, very long time. But he has an interesting column today, and I'm going to praise him because he's not actually running her down. Usually what happens with these liberal newspaper columnists, when it comes to our lieutenant governor, they try to portray her as a kook or somehow dangerous because, extreme right wing. She's a business owner. In fact, I've been to one of the restaurants she owns and had lunch. And she comes across as being one of the most well-adjusted people that I know. Her businesses are successful. She's got wonderful children. So what's the issue? Well, a couple of years ago, she got her picture taken at the state capitol with some members of the 3% group. Okay, but let's stand back for a moment. Whenever liberals want something from a Republican that was elected in this state, you hear the liberal whine and say, you are elected to be the governor or the senator or the representative of everyone. I've actually seen those comments. Now, if you don't vote for one of these Republicans, they really don't owe it to you. And I'm not so sure that if a Paulette Jordan had won as governor a couple of years ago, that she would be receptive to all of my views. You simply can't be the governor or the lieutenant governor or the representative or the senator for everyone. Let's take an example like abortion. There's no agreement on that. There's no overall consensus. There's, middle ground. What are you going to do? Just take half the baby and call that compromise? So no, you can't do that. But his column today is rather interesting in the sense that it goes into some detail about how she could very well challenge the governor in 2 years. He praises the governor, which is odd because most people in mainstream media are angry. They keep demanding that we have a mask mandate statewide, and it ticks them off that he will not listen to them and go ahead with one. He's done pretty much everything else they've demanded of him, though. So I guess they figure 75% is better than nothing. And then they talk about how he's a consensus builder and a policy wonk and following the science. Sure, whatever. In other words, his family is very well entrenched in politics for generations in this state, and a lot of people keep voting for the same last name. Explains it all, doesn't it? But he does go on to say, Malloy, in this column, that Janice McGeachin could well win this primary because he said she does have a good reputation among conservatives in the state, i.e. the more libertarian style conservatives, the constitutionalists. But he points out that Helen Chenoweth, who was a longtime member of the U.S. House of Representatives from Idaho's 1st District, Helen Chenoweth was extremely popular with her constituents, even though the GOP establishment didn't like the woman. I was told one time by one of our state representatives, who also is a Republican but not popular with the establishment, she said, like Chenoweth, they keep coming at you, but like Chenoweth, we keep winning. I think that's a pretty good way to look at this. So it could well be that Janice McGeachin is on her way to becoming our next governor as of January of 2023. We'll have to wait and see. I personally, I find the current governor to be a nice guy, but I just don't know that nice guy always cuts it in government. She, on the other hand, is a nice person too, and yet I think that she might be more attuned to the what they call in culture the Zeitgeist. That's a popular word right now that gets thrown around. I think she's got a better handle on the direction the public is going, and she's also been a strong supporter of our president, and that could benefit her too. Got to run. I've got a show coming up in a few minutes. For those of you who may check out our videos now and then and wonder who the heck is this guy, I'm a radio blowhard. I host a radio show at News Radio 1310 KLIX in Twin Falls. That airs Monday through Friday, 6 until 10 a.m. I'm here most days. I haven't taken a sick day yet since coming here at the end of 2014. So we're coming up on 6 years with that. The show airs, as I say, 6 to 10 a.m. Mountain Time. You can hear it if you're not in the direct area of our transmitter. You can hear it by going to our website, newsradio1310.com, clicking on the Listen Live button. We have an app as well called News Radio 1310 KLIX app. You download that for a smartphone. You can listen to programming that way too, and also send me messages during the course of the morning program, which a lot of people are now doing because you can't always, when you're driving, get on that phone any longer. You know the rules. You can also click on the subscribe button if you like our videos and leave comments in the comment section below.